Welcome to the Clubhouse event. Your energy, your health, be responsible and take action. So I think we're going to go ahead and get started now, and as people kind of like trickle in. And I would like to first start by raising the vibration in this space that we're in now by calling for the highest possible vibration, calling forth the truth to come forward into our discussion so that the truth can be seen, heard, and spoken, and that we all be in that frequency of truth, calling for the highest possible vibration. Now I would like for everyone to take a deep breath in. 3, 2, 1, and let it all out. 3, 2, 1. Take another deep breath in, bringing in peace, joy, and gratitude. And exhale out, releasing all stress and worry, all that does not serve you. Take a sip of water if you have water at hand, as water carries information. We are 70% water. And Lakesh and Veritas, everyone, I call forth the oneness and truth of the information shared by each one of us on this call, calling in that frequency of truth so that we all can experience all that is of truth, as it is our purpose to bring forward the truth so that we all can benefit from this information shared with honor, respect, and gratitude. The greeting in Lakesh and Veritas, a declaration in which we are cleansing, clearing, and uplifting the space so that we can maintain a truthful, elevated, enlightened discussion. A powerful declaration bringing in clarity and a greater understanding for everyone, clearing away those thoughts that we tend to pick up and carry with us from our everyday life experiences, thoughts that do not serve us. Those life experiences of disharmony that creates a frequency of panic and stress. Our words have power. So let us remember and decide to use our words carefully. Using words of upliftment, encouragement, enlightenment. By doing so will help us to transform our spaces and places to its highest energetic frequency. And Lakesh and Veritas, with honor, respect, and gratitude. When I make this statement, has anyone seen the movie Avatar? With Zoe Saldana, the blue people?
Yes. Yes.
So do you remember when the female avatar, that's who Zoe Saldana played, and she was speaking to Jake, the other blue guy, her, potential guy, you know, and he was basically like the converted male avatar. And she would look at him and say, "I see you." And he would reciprocate back and say, "I see you." So that, when I hear that and I saw that, that to me was a representation of Lakesh. So, Lakesh and Veritas. Thought I'd share that.
Yes, I agree that I thought that was a good representation as well. It was like a profession of togetherness. Like, we're I feel you, kind of like, and I'm with you,
Right. Exactly. All right. So we're going to get started. This week in the news, there's increasing news media regarding the lockdown in Shanghai, China, affecting many, many people, and a failing system where people, including those who are financially wealthy, well off, are going hungry because of the failing system that is failing to deliver supplies to their citizens: food, water, toilet paper. Professionals in their own homes are communicating with friends and family overseas of the conditions that are existing, sharing with them that they don't have access to supplies or food. And their videos showing them screaming out of their windows that they're hungry, with drones sending messages or telling people to keep quiet. Trevor Noah has a joke. He's saying that people are singing and the drones are telling him to shut up. They can't sing, but needless to say, and I'm hearing that the government officials are coming to their doors, knocking until they open it. So they can't even ignore the knocks. They have to open it, and then they're being tested for COVID, and then they leave. And we're talking about 26 million people in Shanghai that are in lockdown in their homes as like prisoners. And the other provinces in China that are also participating in the lockdown. And I think they're reaching like 90 to 100 million that are affected by this lockdown, relying on governmental agencies to provide supplies and food. And there's also reports of this lockdown is about to, if not already, affect the supply chain when it comes to the US, which this information is not being reported or addressed in the media, not yet. But there are signs of inflationary prices that are continuing to go up. So again, I encourage everyone to start preparing, storing water like we talked about last week. That Berkey machine, you can find it. It's a great filtration system for filtering pond water into drinkable water. You can find the Berkey on Amazon, Berkey. And then what I've been doing is filling up bottles that I've had, the plastic bottles. I've been refilling that with water instead of having to buy. You can buy some storage containers, but you can also just refill those bottles. And then what I would recommend is adding a little ionic silver into the water. Since ionic silver is antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal. And then also start storing some non-perishable food items, beans in the bag and can items. And to start growing some food in your own spaces. Sprouts are easy to grow. Microgreens, some plants, things that are easy to grow. You can do that starting in your house. And that'll also raise the energy and frequency in your home. And a lot of this information we talked about last week. So just listen. You can listen to the last week's Clubhouse recording to get some more information. Okay, so the news information is being censored that when trying to communicate with those in China, the initial news coming out of the supposedly uncensored media is now starting to trickle into and be released into mainstream. So, I'm just wanted to know, has anyone else heard information, any other countries that are being affected? Any comments or additional information from anyone? You're just absorbing it, huh? All right, well, I will proceed on. So this week, I want to talk about artificial intelligence. So Elon Musk, the early stage investor of Tesla, founder and CEO of SpaceX, he tweeted that everyone in the near future will be able to have the ability to download their brains into robots. So, it's interesting. Are these robots going to be controlling our brains? So if he's saying this now, that means it's already happening. It's like a science fiction movie. So this information is basically saying that we should hand over our minds for someone else to take control, mind control. Someone else on social media brought forward the concern on the idea of conscious slavery, which is interesting. It just makes me think about, the slavery from African Americans too. But that was a form of slavery. But is that they were trying to bring back for a group of people, for the masses? And this is deep, just like in the movies. And has anyone seen that movie I Am Mother? It's a 2019 movie on Netflix where a teenage girl is being raised by a robot designed to repopulate Earth.
I saw it.
Thank you.
That means I was used to watch too much TV,
I saw it too. I do watch quite a bit of TV and movies because I have a movie buff in my house.
huh?
But it's interesting.
It was quite lonely. I thought it was like cold, there was a coldness to the whole thing, like
Mm-hmm.
lack of emotion, and that kind of thing. And it was like chilling kind of, like
Mm-hmm.
this can really happen, based on, and that was based on the information then. So
Yeah, I think, like one of the guys in social media, he was saying that, it's kind of scary because they're going to replace jobs, our positions with artificial intelligence. And then what is it? Then they can take our brains too. But if they replace our jobs and and control us in that sense, then they won't need us anymore. Then that's kind of like the start.
but what I saw, I don't know if anybody saw this, but last week I saw something that flashed across Google that said that in Dallas Love's airport,
Mm-hmm.
how they have those robots there that are like the police. They're the robot police,
Mm-hmm.
and they look for people without mask on, and they look for people that are jaywalking and not doing what they're supposed to do. And so they're already initiating that here. I know I've read about it, excuse me, about a month or two ago in Singapore. They're highly technical and everything. They have the dog robots on the ground already, looking to attack people that are not, they work with the police, and
Mm-hmm.
then they have they're recording everything that people do, and they have the drones flying through the air. So they're already doing it.
Yeah. The problem is that they're not, it's the humanistic side, they're exceptions, but robots are not going to be able to differentiate that. Go ahead, Stephanie. I saw you unmute. Oh, and Diane, you also. Any comments?
Invocation Veritas with great honor, respect, and gratitude, everyone.
Invocation.
Um, I just saw yesterday they had like a video and it was showing this gentleman from Disney, and he was talking about, it's kind of along the lines of what you were saying about the tweet that Elon Musk sent out. They actually, the characters, the young people, the characters with Disney, they're they were grown like in a lab
Mm.
um, with their and they condition their brain and program their brain to be stars, and they have a expectancy of stardom, say 5 to 10 years, and if they malfunction, then they lose their stardom, or whatever. So they're saying that there's several people, and Raven Simone was one of them, that they showed, that was grown in this lab. And I was like,
Well, this was a movie, or this was like a
no,
movie.
this was an actual video, and they were showing, when you call for the truth, it like shows up like
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden you see something. So it's just funny that you said something about Elon Musk, and that they would download our brain, and that it must be already being done. And that's exactly what they were doing, or have been doing. So, it's already here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. On a lighter note, oh, go ahead, Diane, and then I'll share my lighter note.
Okay, in the Invocation Veritas with honor, respect, and gratitude.
Invocation.
When you were talking about them taking our brains, That's what things like Google does. You
Yeah.
know, they've already downloaded our stuff. They already know what we do. You know, you look at something and then all of a sudden 2 minutes later you get an ad
Hmm.
for something that you just looked at. So it is here. It is here in a
Yes.
different form, but yes. So,
Yeah, they are monitoring us. Definitely. Definitely. Well, I will say on like a lighter note, there, they have those driveless cars, those cars where they drive on their own. And apparently one, I think, ran a light. And so the police went to stop it. So the car stopped. And when the cop got out and went to look, there was nobody in there. And then the car started to drive away and run and ran another light. you know?
oh, that's so funny.
so, so that is on YouTube. You can find it. But it was just so hilarious, you know. And so anyway, this is what we're up against. And for those who once called this a conspiracy theory, it is actually now a reality. They call us, yeah, you conspiracy theorists. Yeah, that was in a movie. No, it's real.
And they've been conditioning the children, with the video games, with that what is that thing they use, that eye thing that you go inside.
Monoculous?
Yeah,
Oculus?
like the
Oculus?
Oculus,
Yeah.
yeah, where it's like a virtual reality kind of thing. And so
Hmm.
they're conditioned with playing all of these games, and and they're
Well,
conditioned to work
yeah,
at.
that's that metaverse also too. That virtual reality. You put that on there and you just think you're somewhere else. And people are on there for hours and they pay like thousands of dollars to be in a game, buying property or whatever. It's crazy. So, we want to use this platform to help you prepare to take ownership of your lives and start to do things and become more self sufficient rather than relying on someone outside that we've been trained to rely on outside to take care of you. Remember that knight in shining armor is not going to save you. You will be waiting for a long time if you believe that. And the reality is that knight in shining armor is you. The reality is that you have to start to rely on you, trust you. Basically, you have to start to believe in you. And you ask, how do I get answers? Because they've trained us to rely on someone outside of us to get answers. But the reality is that you always have the answers coming from inside. But it's something that we've ignored, and it is our intuition. And again, it relates to our innate energy. And one tool that has been underrated is a tool of kinesiology, kinetic movement, kinetic energy, a tool that'll help to guide you to in the correct direction you need to take and what is good for you. It is easy to do, and a tool that dates back to the 1800s in Stockholm, Sweden, in recorded history, but I'm sure it's even in existence before then. So we have Diane here, Diane Annis, franchisee owner of Endlicher Studio One, who's going to take us more into kinesiology, the technical aspects and the application of this great technique. Welcome, Diane, Endlicher Veritas, with honor, respect, and gratitude.
In Lakesh Veritas, with honor, respect, and gratitude, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. It is so important that we trust our bodies. You're right, Delilah. And kinesiology is a great way. There's many different forms of it, but we all were born complete. Our bodies know we were born in truth. So when we have direct communication with our body and we ask our body our questions, our body is not going to lie to us. When we ask a question and we think about it in our brain, we have all of these different things going on, our filters, our programming, our beliefs, and so we don't get the true answer. So, one way of using kinesiology is to use the body pendulum process. And that's where we can, if we have a few minutes, we can go through it real quickly. This is taught with in our Quantum Light Property Clearing Level 1 class to help us keep our truth in our body. But this way is so helpful for many things. It will help you get answers when you need a yes or no answer. It will help you with the foods that you're eating, the places you want to go, the people that you meet, the job you want to have, different things, the house you want to move to. There's so many ways that this can be beneficial. So we can start by making sure that we're all grounded. And one way to get grounded is to have a drink of water. Give the water in Lakesh and Veritas. Ask it to ground you and hydrate you. And then we can quiet ourselves and ask our body 3 times, body, will you come forward and communicate directly with me? Body, will you come forward and communicate directly with me? Body, will you come forward and communicate directly with me? May I have your attention, body? Yes. Say, I would like to set a new conscious operating agreement with you. Relax, become calm and meditative. Allow your body to sway from left to right. And it's okay if you're sitting down, just the top part of your body will sway. Or if you're standing up, it's generally your whole body. And feel your body sway. And then say to your body, this left to right motion is my no response from this point forward. So moving forward from right now, swaying from left to right is the no response. Now let's stop our bodies. And then let's start by moving our bodies forward and backwards, front and back. And then say to your body, this is my yes response from this point forward. And then we can stop. And then we can move our heads in a gentle circle and say to our bodies, this is my cannot provide an answer response. This is when I cannot answer the question asked. Because sometimes there will be occasions where the body won't be able to answer. Maybe out of confusion. Maybe the question isn't clear enough. Now stop your body. And now we can try it out. So ask for confirmation and say, body, will you show me a yes? And hopefully everybody is going forward and back. And if it's not very strong, you can ask your body to give a greater expression if you'd like to feel it a little deeper. And then we can stop. And then say, body, will you show me a no response? And hopefully everyone is going left to right. And then we can stop. And then ask the body, will you show me I cannot provide an answer? And maybe it's not only your head. If you're standing up, it may be a circle of your whole body. Okay, so if this is something new to you, this is something that you can practice with things that you already know the answer to. Like, my name is Diane, and I get the yes response. I am moving forward and backwards. However, if I say my name is Delilah, I'm getting the no response, left to right. So we want to be very, very specific when we ask a question. Because if you say something like, is it okay? Sometimes something might be okay for you to learn a lesson, but it may not be to your best and highest interest. So it's good to ask, is it in my best and highest interest to go to the grocery store today? Or at the grocery store, is it in my best and highest interest to buy these apples? Our body, do you want these apples? Would they be good for us? Good for me, for the body. There's many, many ways to use this, and once you start to do it, it becomes second nature. And there's many different ways that they also teach of using the kinesiology. But this is the one that I find works the best for me because I don't think about it. It's something that your conscious mind really doesn't get involved because you're just moving. And
Yeah.
remember to always be respectful and show appreciation when you're asking questions and getting answers. Saying thank you, love, being in love with your body, and understand that you have engaged with yourself in a very powerful way, and this can positively change the way you live your life because it will direct you into the most positive ways, positive events, positive food. We may not always like the answer, but we do need to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
the body is conveniently always with us, so we always have that opportunity to ask the question. So
Yeah. Thank you, Diane. That's really helpful,
thank you.
because we can get answers for ourselves. And then, the question is that what about being a surrogate for um, loved one, a child, a pet, and so forth? This
Hmm.
can be applied to them as well.
Yes, it can. I've used it when like I was at a show and someone who wanted to know which salt they should buy, you know. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, well, are you familiar with kinesiology? You could check with your body. And they weren't at that time. But
Mm-hmm.
it was like, okay, so I asked if I could ask. And
Mm-hmm.
I was able to come up with an answer. And they said, oh, yeah, that's like really good. I said, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, because we know we're coming from the truth. We're
Yeah.
not going to get a false answer. We're not going to get a lie. Our bodies were made in truth to always tell us the truth. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes, that's a great point. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Anahara has Buddy, her dog, and but then Buddy can answer for himself what he wants. So, do you ever use kinesiology at all? Because he'll tell you,
Well,
gives an answer.
yes, in Lakesh Veritas with honor, respect, and gratitude.
And look at you.
So we actually have a very interesting communication. I have a Siberian Husky, and a lot of folks are familiar with him. He's been around for a while, thank goodness. And I have taught him how to give me a yes/no response. So if I ask him, do you want this treat or this treat? Do you want this treat? He'll blink his eyes, both of his eyes. That's a yes response. Or he'll blink one eye and that's his no response. And that's a quick way to get a feel for him. So he does give me his yes, no. And when he has I ask him a question, he's unsure, he looks to the side. It's like, he's like, what are you talking about?
I,
That's so cool.
It is. It really is, and it is without fail. Without fail. So, and then he also is quite chatty as well. But I do use kinesiology when I'm going to get food for him. Is this the best food for Buddy? Is it in his highest and best interest? And then the next question is, will he eat it?
oh, hmm,
Because it may be in his highest and best interest to eat, but he's not interested in it because it may not taste good. So we've learned that the power is in the questions, asking the right questions. And so I'll keep asking, and sometimes when I keep getting a no, 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 and the store's like, okay, well, what's going on? Or if I get use the same brand, go to pick up the same brand that I have used for him before and the same flavors, and I ask and I get a no, it's like, well, I'll go through the stack and maybe the one on the bottom is the good one to get. Well, what's wrong with the rest of them? And then I was told that they had sawdust in them. They used sawdust as a filler for the dog food. So
mm,
having the tools of kinesiology is so helpful because you have insight into more than just the ingredients listed on the bag.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And you have so many more answers than you could ever possibly imagine. Is it the best doctor to go with? Should I take him for a walk now or should I wait? It is absolutely incredible.
mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Thank you for your for sharing that.
Absolutely. Thank you. And Lakesh and Veritas with honor, respect, and gratitude.
And Lakesh and Veritas with honor, respect, and gratitude. So we've got a tool on our belt, that we can use to help us to take responsibility. And I encourage you, we got to start taking care of ourselves. I encourage everyone before we go to join the whole responsibility meditation sessions that are given on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's equivalent to 5 a.m., 11:30 a.m., and 7 p.m. Central Time. And for those Pacific early risers, 3 a.m., 9:30 a.m., and 5 p.m. And it's a great restorative session, helping to bring that energetic balance to your day or evening and bringing peace and clarity into your life experience. Very restful and very restorative experiences. Some that are here now have been on the session. And you can join, it's completely free. Just go to the YouTube channel and the Kiss Studios on YouTube, and then you'll get instructions are there, or I do send some announcements periodically for it, so I encourage people to join. Yes, Diane.
And I also have the link on my website in lakeshstudio1.com
Oh,
under
yes.
host responsibility meditations. There's a tab at the top, and if you go there, there's a link that you can just click on to go into the Zoom, into each session.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. So Diane has the enlakeshstudio1.com. Serenia has enlakeshstudio4.com. It's on her website as well, and as I have it on my site is enlakeshstudio2.com. So join. I tomorrow morning is our next session at 6 a.m. It's to give a great start to your day. Go ahead, Nanahara.
Yes, I have a question. So it's on YouTube. Can you access this at any time or just at the times that the group will be doing it together?
Just right now, just when the groups are doing it together.
Okay.
At
Okay.
some point we may end up trying to, have recordings on it, but right now it's just live Zoom sessions.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. In Lakesh and Veritas with honor, respect, and gratitude. And I can tell everyone on the line who has, if you have yet to participate in this, it is just so wonderful. And it's just the peace that comes over you in participating in a group environment is just absolutely magnificent. And I am so grateful for everyone who worked together to put this into motion. Thank you so much, everyone.
Oh, thank you, Anahara. It's just a way we find that just the practice of Ho'oponopono, doing it consistently is what's going to help to shift your experience. It's an energetic practice that'll help to shift your energy into something that's more beneficial for you. But people tend to lack consistency and put other things ahead of them. And so if you do something like this, we're trying to help and assist by setting times that you can do it so that you can have that consistency in your life utilizing this technique. So, all right, everyone. Well, thank you for joining. Look forward to seeing you next week on the next Clubhouse event with honor, respect, and gratitude to you all. And Mission Veritas.
I'm gonna
In
catch
Lakesh
you.
and
In
Veritas with
Lakesh
honor,
In
respect, and
Lakesh
Veritas, honor,
gratitude.
Honor,
respect, and
respect, and
gratitude.
gratitude. Thank you.
Hey, Serenia, you still
Hey,
there?
I'm still here. It was good. I thought Diane did well.
She did. She did very well. I'm looking forward to seeing her at the retreat next month doing it.
Yeah,
I thought she did a really good job.
she did. She was very relaxed.
Very much so. Very
Yeah,
much so. She must be doing that, at her those events.
right.
You know. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
So I'm gonna do some work. I gotta do some homework for tonight.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm gonna, huh?
okay. I'm sending you that energy. Get those.
Oh, I'm fine. I just ate some soup that I made, So I
Mhm.
had that, and so I'm gonna finish this. This one's not such a long
Assignment.
well, I have to finish listening to him talk. And he's talking about supplements now.
Oh, oh, okay. Cool.
So, and then I got to do a couple assignments because I didn't, I usually try to do them earlier during the week, but I did. I
Okay. Okay. All right. We'll get cracking.
Thank you. All right.
All right.
Thank you. And we'll catch you for
And Mission Veritas. Gratitude.